So this is a debate on essentially OLIF versus ALIF, and I'm going to explain what that means. Here are my disclosures. When we're talking about lateral or single position surgery, really, in my opinion, OLIF or lateral ALIF or XALIF or whatever whatever it's called nowadays is really to actually be able to do all surgery in single position. Okay. So what I'm talking about is ALIF and allowed to keep its position at either L5S1 or L4-5 or L4 to S1, and the percutaneous pedicle screw fixation in the lateral position. Okay, this is not what I'm talking about, because you remember back in the day there used to be, and some of you may still do this. You do a supine ALIF, you do a L4-5X lift, and then you go, in the lateral position you go prone to do a T lift or something. And really how it came about with me was, at my hospital, there was a brief period of time where every time you flipped, whether you went from supine to lateral, lateral to prone, supine to prone, we had to reset the entire room. So all tables went out, new sets came in. It was literally, to flip a patient, it took over an hour and 15 minutes, right? It's basically like a full room turnover, which clearly was not a tenable situation for me. So the question is, are we doing good surgery? And obviously when we talk about ALIF versus TLIF, for example, having large spaces is really critical. And oftentimes if you think about doing a 5-1 ALIF in particular, you're really going after height, foraminal restoration, and obviously higher fusion rates, right? So ALIF versus LIF or DLIF, XLIF, like I said, we'll just call it LIF. Is it mechanically sound? And yes, we know that, certainly from clinical experience now, but even, back 5 or 6 years ago, we knew that it's biomechanically sound in comparison to an ALIF. And here's a good example of a 5-1 slip, where you can get a pretty substantial L5-S1 cage, and this is, again, done in the lateral position. But as I mentioned, what motivated me was actually to improve my OR efficiency. And this is a really good photo of my friend Alex Thomas down in North Carolina. He's putting in pedicle screws posteriorly while his exposure surgeon is opening for the ALIF. Okay, so he actually, and that's his PA actually standing in the middle. The nurse doesn't even scrub. But basically, we're operating at the same time. And so I was thinking, does it really matter? Like, what does OR efficiency really matter? Well, it's funny. I know my counterpart, the other Brian Kwon, very well. And I thought, what? Let me just Google him, see if anything else came up. And I'm like, well, gee, these are, I just wrote Brian Kwon, and look at how many Google hits he gets. And I'm like, well, maybe he doesn't need to be more efficient than you are. The guy's so damn productive. Like, maybe you should take longer to do surgery. He'll do less. He'll accomplish less. Of course, there's one picture of me, I'm like, man. So I'm the guy who needs to be efficient in the OR because I need more time to, somehow get myself on more Google pics, for God's sakes, That's okay, Brian. Let me tell you, I get invited to all sorts of good stuff because of you. So, when you're looking at a case like this, L4-5 slip, again, we've talked a million different ways to treat this. Doing this, in the lateral position for me with screws can be done in about hour and a half. It's really quick. And you'd say, well, geez, Brian, we're not trying to set these speed records. And I'm telling you, I'm not rushing when I do this, okay? And these are actually mine and Alex's data on at L5-S1 or L4 to S1. And again, our operative times are about, 100 minutes, okay? And you know what? Again, nobody wins an award for operating quickly, but, if you think about OR time itself, right, that's costly. It's really costly. And in fact, improved staff morale is incredible, right? I have so many nurses now saying, they'll walk up to me like, you're not flipping, right? Yeah, because now they actually appreciate the fact that we don't flip. Anesthesia really loves the fact that we don't put them in the bed, flip them around, or, you understand the concern around extubation. And of course, with issues of morbidity, right? In terms of ventilation, pressure injuries, it's kind of a big deal. And one thing that one of my fellows is looking at right now is looking at GI morbidity after supine ALIF versus lateral ALIF. And we think that, supine ALIF actually, patients have, it might be transient, but they, do complain a lot about things like constipation and diarrhea. It doesn't make sense, right? Like, why would that affect GI motility in any way? But we're finding it does. There's actually believe it or not, there's like a IBS, PRO out there, and we're using that to see whether patients have, worsening, GI distress symptoms after supine ALIF. And of course, in the adult spinal deformity world, longer surgeries lead to more complications, right? I mean, it's intuitive, and we know that. And obviously, we are talking about a single level operation, which is different, but again, anything that gets patients off the table sooner is not a bad thing, okay? So in conclusion, I think that, single position surgery, again, it's an anterior cage with a posterior screw. It avoids a flip, and, it gets you out of the OR faster, which is important to me because I have 2 young kids. You've seen them running around. But also it decreases patient morbidity, and it may save cost, right? It makes you more efficient. You can do 3 of these in a day instead of 2. Okay, so that's where I think it really helps. Now, in anticipation of the fact that the other Brian Kwon's going to come up here and absolutely kick my butt, I just figured I'd put some slides up here based on what we do in Boston versus what they do in Vancouver. Thank you very much.